Hi, readers. Today I have your second reading lesson from Social Issues titled Multiple Issues in Any One Book. Before we get going, let's remember exactly what social issues are by thinking about what they are not. So social issues are not personal issues like being in a wheelchair, having a disability, not being able to speak, or being overweight. Those are not social issues. Those are issues that affect just one person. We're looking for issues that affect multiple people or large groups of people. We could rephrase or rename some of these personal issues as fitting in or differences, bullying. These are social issues. Let's think back to Home of the Brave and Wonder. Now, if you take a look at the table or chart I created, I listed a couple. Oh my gosh, Augie faced so many personal issues, but I just listed a few here. One of them was like he had facial abnormalities. He went from homeschooling to public schooling, and oh my gosh, all those awful things Julian said about him. These are all personal issues, but they do fit into a larger social issue, and we can rename them as differences. In fact, I'm even thinking we could rename facial abnormality into, fitting in. Because of his difference, he had a hard time fitting in. That's something that affects large groups of people. So I went through and filled this out for Jack Will when he said the awful thing at Halloween about Augie that was under peer pressure. Keck, he doesn't speak English. That made it hard for him to fit in. The war chased him and his family from his home. He had a sense of homelessness. And you get the idea. All of these social issues can be a window into the deeper issues of the book. So today I want to teach you that critical readers know how important it is to study when and how a character struggles and to ask, what do this character's troubles suggest about the social issues in this book? And what do they suggest the author wants to convey about those? This is actually the question we're going to focus the most on. When I started to read chapter 2 of Blubber, by the way, pause right here and go listen to me read the second chapter of Blubber. Otherwise, you are going to get some major spoiler alerts. So go ahead and pause. Okay, now, as I was reading, I had the question, what did this character's troubles suggest about the social issues in the book? And right away, I started to feel like it's not so much about peer pressure as it seems to be about fitting in and differences. And the reason I thought that is because Judy Blume started to give us very specific details about Jill and about Tracy. And we know that when an author gives you specific details that just stand out as odd or exceptionally different, it's important. You jot that down. So I did. I jotted those ideas down. And I did a couple more jotting as I was reading because I had some thoughts. And then when I was done, I started to think about the second question about what is it the author is suggesting about fitting in or differences. And I focused on fitting in. So what is the author saying about fitting in? It's still early, but because Judy Blume told us right away about Linda being called Blubber, and now we are learning very specific info about Jill and Tracy, I'm starting to think that Judy Blume might smash the term fitting in. Maybe she is going to point out that there is no such thing as fitting in, since we are all so different. I'm also thinking that maybe Sharon Draper had a similar thought when she wrote Out of My Mind. Melody is physically different from most people, and perhaps we will read about how she doesn't fit in. So I did a comparison about the two different authors and what they might be saying about fitting in. It was a brief writing, but I can elaborate on this more later as I read through more chapters and raise the level of my thinking. So here's what you get to do today. I'm inviting you to go on Padlet and read chapter 3 and 4 of Out of My Mind by Sharon Draper. And I also kept the same 3 ideas from yesterday's lesson, or sorry, the other days, session 1, whenever you did it, because these are great opportunities or great options for you to think about and work on during your 60 minutes of Reader's Workshop. And I added today's major question about what does this author seem to be saying about this issue? Your notebook might look different than mine, but that's okay as long as you're showing your thinking. And please be doing this work in your reader's notebook. That way you can go back and make adjustments just like I have. Don't forget, here's the Padlet information. Anything and everything you need, more than what I've posted on in this video, it's all there for you. Happy reading.